the next stage on our wheel is reward, and this is important. Make no bones about it. It's probably one of the things we get asked about the most at New Minds. Mark mentioned that we do quite a lot of benchmarking work. If you're looking to attract candidates from larger or competitor firms, you need to know that you've got a remuneration structure that will enable you to do that. And for your team, for your employees, it's about people in that team feeling as though they're being really appropriately rewarded for the contribution that they make, and that this is done in a fair way throughout the business, hence the reference to transparency, which is so important. To add just a sort of note here as you're thinking about those three things, often founders of consulting firms, when they're looking to make their first hires, they kind of come to us and with the assumption that candidates will be prepared to take a lower salary or put a lot more of their salary at risk because they're joining a smaller firm. And my answer to that is always the same, and for that, apologies if I've told you this before. But in our experience, unless a candidate already knows you, this is really rare. If you've worked together before and they buy into you as an individual, back you to make a success of this business, then they might be more flexible because they can see the potential upside. But actually, for anyone else, they're already taking a risk by joining a small unknown brand. Just because they're not prepared to take a big salary drop, it doesn't mean that they're not keen or excited about the proposition. But there's only so much risk that an individual is prepared to pay if they haven't seen that kind of if they haven't seen that strong track record of success already. And I think also, bear in mind, when people come to us and ask us this, they're typically targeting as their first hires people who are experienced, mid-career, bringing capability, bringing a track record. Realistically, those are people who are also at a life stage where they've got a mortgage, personal financial commitments, that they perhaps just, there isn't any room to take that kind of risk. So my message would be, if you want great people, you need to be prepared to reward them appropriately.